as the treasure base of the nation, right? River State. A state, what? Created in 1967, many years. It is survived, it has evolved, it has developed, it is still developing, and I'm proud to be a River State man, even though sometimes the politics can be very, very depressing. Okay, I'll tell you what my conversation is about, but first let me do the introductions. For those of you who are just tuning in, you're welcome. 11 minutes gone past 5. You're listening to the voice of Kaladakoru Batbor, and this is Hard Facts on 92.3 Niger Info, your talk news sports radio station. You're welcome. Okay, so I want to look at, the fact that we've got the protest tomorrow, the fact that so many reactions have been popping up for the past 2-3 weeks, and in the last few days, the reactions have been epic, have been plenty, many, so to say. I mean, the big stories, we gave you a plethora of reactions. The Oni, Canin River State, Asare Dokobar, the Senate President. Now, the governor's reacted, by the way. The governor says, I know you guys want to protest. I'm not going to stop you from protesting, but please try your best to ensure that it's peaceful. And the way the governor sounded, as I read during the 5 p.m. news, it sounded like, see, if it is possible, let's not go out there to protest, because there is political instability in the state, and the purveyors of violence may want to take advantage of the protests and cause mayhem in the state. Okay, so I'm going to play some sound bites eventually as to what the governor said, but that's not the focus. The focus is that there is going to be protests. I don't know if I'm certain, because Nigerians, they can decide to shelve the protest. But yeah, it is believed that there would be a protest tomorrow. And the reason is they are calling for the end to bad governance. Now, that has been interpreted in several ways, but Nigerians are saying, some Nigerians are saying, there is hunger in the land, and that has left them angry. You know what we say, the hungry man is the angry man, right? And ever since the protest was advertised, we've seen government push out certain palliative policies like sharing of 20 trucks of rice, reducing the price of a 50 kg of rice by half, now 40,000 according to government. We've seen the House of Representatives slash their salary for 6 months by half. We have seen taxes on certain imported goods removed for 150 days. We have seen certain youth programs. The other day I think I saw on X, someone from the youth ministry talking about a certain amount of money, say 150,000, I can't remember, for certain amounts of youths. We've seen cash transfers being done. We've seen investment. I'm trying to remember all of the palliatives now that has been reeled out, or that have been reeled out by the federal government. We've seen all of these things done, and all of this, are supposed to assuage, supposed to pacify Nigerians and not let them go on strike. Like we've also seen on several occasions, different people have said, give the president more time so that those policies can yield the desired fruits. I'm guessing, and I've said this before, that there is the likelihood that the protest would be an excuse if the economy never gets back on its feet. And I wonder if that is enough reason to stop Nigerians from going on a protest. But I want to focus, like I've done in the past few days, on River State, and maybe by extension the Niger Delta. And what am I saying? So yesterday there was some Niger Delta summit, and in that summit we had Akpabio, we had Asari Dokubo speak, we had them talk about development and how protest is anti-development. Take a listen to Akpabio.
Because all of us feel the impact of what is happening now. But we are aware that it will be for a short while. The specific issues faced by the Niger Delta must be contained in that communique, because we are going to make it available to Mr. President. The ones that need legislation will come to us. The ones that need intervention will go to NDC. The ones that need more money will go to the President and Commander-in-Chief of the armed forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And I assure you that those issues will be addressed. MD, I want to thank you for what you said. You said, we are not interested in regime change. Let us own this government. Those who want to protest can protest, but let us be there eating. Am I right? I must thank Niger Delta. So, in conclusion, we acknowledge the fact that the impact of oil and gas activities in our...
All right, so you had him there. You know, he said Niger Deltans should be more concerned about eating, about, being on the good side of the government. He said, yes, we all feel the economic situation or whether what we should be doing is to come to a round table and talk and say whatever legislation that is needed, the National Assembly will work on it for the people of Niger Delta. He said whatever that is an intervention, the NDDC will step in, and whatever that is capital intensive, the federal government through the office of the president will come to the rescue. So he's saying that Niger Delta should be more focused on the promises of the government. And I'm wondering, is that enough to assuage yet again, you, me, and every other person in the Niger Delta as a result of the soaring prices of items and commodities in the marketplace? But once again, you remember what Asari Dokubo said. Maybe I just play a bit of it again so you get an insight.
Sitting here peacefully, it will be good for you to visit Liberia, visit Somalia, visit Venezuela, visit Somalia, and ask those people. I was in Libya, I was a friend of Gaddafi, I lived in Libya. Libya was paradise. Today, Libya is hellfire. 90% of those who led this anarchy against Gaddafi, they are all dead. Let nobody deceive you that there will be peaceful protest. It's not a peaceful protest. It's a call to anarchy. Have you read the 10-point demand? A change of government. It's a change of government, a change of constitution, a change of this. Is that demand for good governance? That is a coup. And we have to resist. All of us, yes, people have been hungry. This is not the first time. And nobody is happy that people are hungry. We are all working so that people, the burden on the shoulder of the people will be lifted up and will be carried away.
All right, so, if you listen to the full clip, you would hear him say Niger Delta is not a place where the protests will thrive. Don't bring it to the Niger Delta. If you do anyhow, you can see anyhow, he said. All right, so all of these calls, I wonder if they're enough to assuage. But beyond that, looking at the security of the region, the possibility that things may get out of hand. Before we even get to things getting out of hand, in that summit, they also promised 50,000 naira to 10,000 Niger Deltan youths for a start every month. More like paying them, sorry, just take this. We know the government is trying; they will do their best. I'm wondering, and forgive me. In the Niger Delta, we have, 3 refineries, or should I say 2, because there is the 2 in 1 here in River State. Could they not fix the refineries so that these youths can get employed, or maybe even put up a fish factory, or even a bigger cassava processing plant, or even liaise with the River State government to ensure that one is working? I'm just thinking, build industries with all the monies that they are using as palliatives. 50,000 naira times 10,000 is what? Someone help me with the calculation. Do you have a calculator there? I'm never very good with mathematics, right? But yeah, let's do the maths and let's see. 50,000 by 10,000 people, that's 500 million. Could that have been used to to get something that will be churning out more money and employ Rivers people so they can at least earn the minimum wage of 70,000 naira every month. But what do I know? So are these things enough? That's the question. Niger Deltans, over to you. Rivers people, over to you. But first, let's take a listen to the governor of Rivers State, who has appealed to the organizers of the protest to ensure it is not hijacked. I wonder how they're going to ensure, but he's saying it because it may be used to destabilize the state. Now, the governor, His Excellency, made the appeal during a meeting with civil society organizations and other stakeholders at Government House in Port Harcourt today. Do I have the sound bite? I wonder. But let's just give me a minute there. So what are your thoughts? What do you make of it? Is there anything that can, in your opinion, pacify Niger Deltans not to be a part of the protest tomorrow? Do you see that happening? I'd like to hear from you. 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003. I'm just going to reel out those two numbers so I can take at least one call before the commercial break. All right, so let's get your thoughts. 500 million, I've seen it. Thank you very much for the person who helped me with the calculations. 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003. I'm taking this call myself. 92.3 Niger Info. What is your name? Where are you calling in from?
Okay, my name is Austin. I'm calling from Alu.
Austin from Alu, welcome.
Yes. There are two things I need to say down there. One of it is what Ashley just said. And the other one is the quality of 10,000 to 50,000 naira.
50,000 naira to 10,000 people.
It will not work.
It will not work,
definitely, because right from the inception, then, okay, when someone will tell me, don't worry, let us give people say that let's to give him more time. But he came in on the 27th of May. And announced to the public
29th of May.
Do you think they haven't come back to ask people around what am I going to do next before I announce this? What are the things that I will put on that before this announcement will come? To me, I don't think about to say something before it done there. He said if something lasts for more than 24 hours, that means government hands are inside of it. Because they said after God, the next people will look at and respect his government. So the Nigerian government should wake up and instantly know what to do so that Nigerians could be able to work free. At least we can hold our money and it will come meaningful to us. You hold 5,000, I cannot be able to buy anything here. Even 10,000, you can't even treat yourself 10,000. How much for those what in the village? Even in the city and all that. But you stop deceiving people.
All right. Thank you very much, Austin. I've got to let you go at this point. I do have a commercial coming up. And after the commercial, I would bring your way the headline news. And I'll be back and you and I will talk for development. Please do stay tuned to 92.3 Niger Info. Remember, I am yours truly, Kaladaka Rubatabo.
Area info on
92.3.
Headline News.
Governor Fubara cautions against protest hijacking meet security chiefs. Senate begs protesters to give government more time to meet demands. Lagos State government deploys RRS task force to streets ahead of protests. Court says Rivers PDP can appoint lawyer without legal advisor. Court adjoins 2 suits against Martin Ameule, 25 orders. Rivers Labour Party ask RESEC to stand by date for LGA elections. Rivers NLC to meet with government over minimum wage implementation on the foreign scene. Iran vows to avenge killing of Hamas leader Ania. Details in the 6 p.m. bulletin. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808 721 7215. I am Kaladaka Rubatable. Good afternoon and do stay tuned.
This is Hard Facts.
It is the bottom of the hour. You're listening to Hard Facts indeed. I am yours truly, Kala Dakaru Basibor. Good afternoon, welcome. We're still talking and we're looking at the protests and how it affects River State and the Niger Delta in its entirety. And we are looking at the government's ploy to give 50,000 naira to 10,000 people. By the way, in River State alone, we are more than 7 million people in population. So I'm guessing the entire Niger Delta, the last time I checked, I just can't remember it now, just thinking without looking at my notes. But somewhere would, about 6 8? We're looking at approximately 30-40 million people or more in the Niger Delta. If 10,000 people get 50,000 naira, does that solve the problem? What is the ripple effect going to be? Unlike what I have as an opinion, where the 500,000 could have been put into some kind of trade or industry, maybe public transportation, and have these people drive. I don't know. I'm not a business entrepreneur. But I do know 500 million could have been used, because if you multiply 50,000 naira by 10,000 people, you would get 500 million. But just for clarity purposes, like I like to do, and before I go to the phone lines, I would like to read the article as I saw it on one of the pages of the newspaper, The Punch to be precise, and it has the caption, FG to pay 10,000 Niger Deltan youths 50,000 naira monthly. Now, Senate President Godswill Akpabio, Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives Benjamin Kalu, and the Managing Director of the Niger Delta Development Commission, Dr. Samuel Ogbuku, have called on youths and people of the region to shun the planned August the 1st protest against economic hardship. This follows Akpabio's launch of a youth internship scheme initiated by the NDDC for 10,000 youths from the Niger Delta region. Now, speaking during the NDDC Executive Management engagement with Niger Delta ethnic nationalities and selected stakeholders in Port Harcourt on Tuesday, Akpabio declared that the proposed nationwide protest by some youths would not take place in the 9 states of the Niger Delta, describing the region as a protest-free zone. Now, detailing the youth internship scheme, the Senate President said, and I quote, as seen on the newspaper page, the 10,000 youths would be engaged in the program designed to improve their skills, noting that the beneficiaries in the first phase would be paid 50,000 naira monthly. Okay, Akpabio stated that the President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is committed to the development of the Niger Delta region. He noted that following the presidential directive, the NDDC recently inaugurated 5 flagship projects covering roads, bridges, and electricity across the region. Niger Delta, 9 states are Okay, I was calculating even the South region. That's what I was calculating. My apologies. So if we're calculating 9 states, we're talking over 60 million people in the Niger Delta. If that be the case, my friend, is this enough to call off the strike? However, let's put the security of the region into consideration, into cognizance. Remember, the Rivers State Governor is the Chief Security Officer of Rivers State, and he has said no to not necessarily saying no, but he's insinuating that it may destabilize the state, as there are people locking in the dark waiting to take advantage of the protest. He cautioned security agents to follow the rules of engagement in handling the protesters. He also promised to reconstitute a scholarship board in August to begin the payment of bursary to students and to meet other complaints of the protesters. Now, once again, I would say it's for clarity purposes. The governor is not outrightly saying don't protest, but he's saying, look at it from this angle, things may go south. So should we look at it? Alex Osi the other day said, what? Yeah, well, we should protest. I think it was banning of words with Peter B the other day. What are your thoughts on this one? What are your thoughts, basically? 0817923 002 0817923 0003 0817923 007 is the phone numbers. Let's get talking. WhatsApp number for WhatsApp messages 08090306416. This one says, what they know they condemn, what they don't know they criticize. Divide and rule parameters can give us a permanent